Welcome back to Studio Chatter. Being thankful and expressing gratitude should be a daily attitude, not just during the holidays. Let's talk about being grateful every day.
I 100% agree with that comment. Yeah.
An attitude of gratitude.
Always.
Yeah. So what do you guys do in your personal life to express gratitude?
So I try to always have thank you notes on hand to, and as often as I can, and it doesn't always happen, but I really try, and if I can, to write a thank you note by hand, get it in the mail so the person knows that I'm genuine in my thanks.
Yes.
I know that a lot of people have gratitude journals. I write in mine occasionally. I don't write in it every day. I wish that I could. Do you write in yours every day?
A couple times a week.
Okay.
And I find that if I leave it out on my nightstand, I'm much better. And I don't put a limit. Like if it's I'm thankful for one thing, then that's good. And it adds up over time. What I find is, and I shared this with my daughters specifically, I find that you look for things during the day to be grateful for, so you can document it.
I like that.
You're more aware.
Yeah.
And I think that's the purpose. So you're looking for the good throughout your day rather than the negative or the sad,
That's so important.
downtrodden.
It's true, because
Yeah.
I think it's so easy to get caught up in the negative or focus on that one thing where you could just let fester, especially in work life. You're like, oh, I just, and it could pull you really downward. And if you can find that upward lifting, like, I'm just grateful to have a job. I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to live in a free country. Just all of those things that compile the list.
I think that the way that I show is probably by doing for the people that I love and service. And that came back to my mom. I remember years ago when I was struggling one time, and she said, get out of yourself and show, give service and love to others. And then that grateful heart just starts to build. But I didn't want to cry. I didn't even know if I was going to bring it up. But my cute mom, as these two ladies know, has been diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. And when they found it, it's stage 5. So we're probably going to lose her pretty soon, but I have such a grateful heart because it's been such a hard time that the people that have reached out to us and have just done without being asked has shown to us how grateful they are to my mother and maybe to us. I had someone just drop off at my porch like a big 20-pack of Diet Coke with treats for me to take to my mom's. So when people came over, that there were treats there. There's been texts, her cute little nurses and everyone hugging and loving on her, and it has just shown to me the love that she's given to other people. She is receiving that love back. And so I think her grateful heart has been a huge service to the rest of us, and that legacy will live on. She truly was grateful for just minimal things. She will probably leave this earth with not a whole bunch of physical riches, but she leaves the earth with such an abundance of the things that matter most.
Right.
Yeah.
But those are the things that people remember.
It is.
Whether you're going through the memories or one thing that just really resonates in my mind is one of our former Miss Spanish Forks, Dejana, who's going to be competing at the Miss America pageant. Her hashtag service team. How that is just instilled at such a young age, and how that's carried on, and whether it's opening the door for somebody or if it is delivering that meal or writing the note or making someone just feel better about themselves and how you can uplift them, that lives on for forever.
It does. And I feel like if it's something good that pops into your mind to do it, do it.
Exactly.
Don't hold back. There's never anything bad, I don't think, that's ever become of something that's just something good that you do for someone
We all
else.
want to know that people are grateful for
Right.
what we do.
Right.
And oftentimes if people tell me thank you, I'm like, oh, but that's just
What I do. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You're like, no, but you need to let it sink in when people say thank you for this or this.
Right,
or,
it really meant a lot to me. And I
Yeah.
did that to that person that dropped that off on my doorstep. I said, I just wrote her a little something, and I said, we had a really hard day. And when I came home, that was just so thoughtful. It just hit me. It meant so much to me. She's like, oh, that was just so silly. And I said, no, not to me. It really meant a lot. And so I think to give that thanks back so that person knows that did mean a lot, I want to do it more. It kind of becomes a contagious
Well, it's so much
service.
of that pay it forward attitude.
Yes.
Because you know when you're giving of yourself, how it makes you feel, and then how it makes the other person on the receiving end feel.
Definitely.
Pete was sharing a story when we came into the studio earlier, and we were kind of talking about gratitude, and he said that he had received a kind of an out of ordinary text from a previous employee that just said, hey, I had this challenge a couple of years ago, but I just wanted to express my thanks somehow to someone in my life, like every day. So whether it starts with
Wow.
that challenge, right? So he got a nice, just to get a nice text out of the blue, like, you've impacted my life somehow
Yeah.
in this way. So I don't know, maybe in this season, if that's your personal challenge, maybe for the week, for the month. I know there's a lot of people sharing things on social media to say, grateful in the month of November.
And the things we
So-
take for granted, like going back to my mother, like she was a wonderful, beautiful person. How many times did I really thank her for those little things that she did for us and those kindnesses? And since all this has happened, we're expressing that love to her and telling her about those things, and she is so full. And I thought we need to do this more often to each other. It really builds people. We never know the position that they're in or
Yeah.
what's going on in here that they need to hear those words of
So
affirmation and how grateful we are for them.
Back in my 20s, in my first house, it was my first yard, and I did my best, and I got an anonymous little note in the mail. And I liked that it was anonymous, because you never know.
Right,
what
right,
you do,
right.
right? And I
Yeah.
get this note, and it said, "Thank you for your beautiful yard. Every time I go jogging through our neighborhood, I see it, and it makes my day happy."
Aw.
That was easily 25 years ago.
And
It
it's
stayed
just
with
stuck.
you.
It did, because I just was so touched, because I genuinely was trying to do my best. It was my first attempt at it, but I was so trying.
And to get that,
Yeah,
that back,
but
like
a
you're making a
personal
difference.
note.
Right.
Right.
But I just as much love that it was anonymous.
So
Maybe
don't
I
hold
need
it
to do
in. I
more.
think we need to not look at ourselves so much and look towards others. And I do think that what you give, you'll receive.
Yeah.
So you'll
Oh,
feel
most
that
definitely.
same, that same gratitude.
Love it.
Yep.
Coming up next on Studio Chatter, life is a roller coaster. Stay with us to talk about the ride.